Good evening and welcome to tonight's latest news bulletin, coming to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Israeli aggression continues in Gaza as the World Health Organization warns that the last functioning hospital in Gaza is on the brink of collapse. And the specialized medical team in the Al-Nahda Hospital's ophthalmology department has succeeded in performing the first corneal transplant for a patient. Those were the headlines, and in just a moment we shall go into the details. The United Nations Security Council will meet next week over the decisions by the global body's top court calling for Israel to prevent genocide in Gaza. The Council's presidency announced yesterday. The Wednesday's meeting was called for by Algeria, whose Ministry of Foreign Affairs said it would give binding effect to the pronouncement of the International Court of Justice on the provisional measures imposed on the Israeli occupation. Israel pressed ahead today with its campaign in Gaza's Khan Yunis as bad weather hit displaced Palestinians seeking refuge further north in the battered enclave. Residents reported heavy aerial and tank fire across Khan Yunis, an area of southern Gaza that has become the focus of Israel's ground offensive against Palestinian resistance fighters and around two main hospitals there. The Palestinian resistance fighters said they fired an anti-tank missiles against Israeli tank in the southwest Khan Yunis. The Israeli military said it killed at least 11 gunmen who were trying to plant explosive near troops and others firing rifles and rocket-propelled grenades at soldiers in Khan Yunis. The Gaza Health Ministry said Israeli strikes hit in the vicinities of Al-Amal Hospital and the largest functioning medical facility in South Nasser Hospital. The Israeli bombardment was compromising health care and endangering the lives of doctors, patients and displaced people, said ministry spokesman. Meanwhile, in a ruling yesterday, the World Court stopped short of ordering a ceasefire but ordered Israel to prevent acts of genocide against Palestinians and do more to help civilians. Some 26,257 Palestinians have been killed and nearly 65,000 wounded so far, including 174 killed in the last 24 hours. The majority of the enclave's 2.3 million population has been displaced. The head of the World Health Organization, WHO, has warned of a collapse of a hospital in the city of Khan Yunis, which is being fought over by Israeli forces and the Palestinian resistance fighters. The Nasser hospital was running out of fuel, food and supplies. Hundreds of patients and hospital staff had fled because of the fighting, and the delivery of supplies was difficult. There are currently 350 patients and 5,000 displaced people in the hospital. The aid organization Medicine Sans Frontiers announced that essential medical care at Nasser Hospital had collapsed. Israel's army has recently intensified its attacks in Khan Yunis. U.S. President Joe Biden yesterday spoke with Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani about Gaza, and they agreed that efforts to secure the release of hostages taken by Palestinian resistance fighters were key to securing a longer pause in fighting, the White House said. Both leaders affirmed that a hostage deal is central to establish a prolonged humanitarian pause in the fighting and ensure additional life-saving humanitarian assistance reach civilians in need throughout Gaza, the White House said in a statement. Biden's Middle East advisor, Brett McGurk, was in Doha this week having discussions about the possibility of another hostage deal between Israel and Palestinian resistance fighters. White House spokesperson John Kirby said that the U.S. would support a longer humanitarian pause in combat in Gaza to ensure hostages could be released and aid brought in. The U.S. government has finalized the sale of F-16 fighter jets to Ankara following Turkey's final approval of Sweden's accession to NATO. Congress in Washington has been informed about the planned arms deal that included 40 new F-16 fighter jets as well as modernization packages for 79 F-16 jets already in Turkey's possession. The package is worth a total of around $23 billion. After a year and a half of a political tug of war, the majority of parliamentarians in Ankara voted in favor of Sweden's accession to NATO on Tuesday evening. The F-16 fighter jet is one of the most powerful military aircraft in the world and is deployed in more than 24 countries. The Sultanate of Oman participated in the activities of the second round of the Global Diwan Forum held in Monaco in French Republic. The forum focused this year on youth talents, Arab and Europe experts to enhance cooperation in the fields of digital technology, data and smart cities. The Sultanate of Oman's delegation was led by Her Highness Sayyida Dr. Muna bint Fahad Al Saeed, Assistant Vice Chancellor for International Cooperation in Sultan Qaboos University. A specialized medical team at the ophthalmology department in another hospital succeeded in performing the first anterior partial corneal transplant for a patient with keratoconus. The medical team confirmed that this type of operation in the Sultanate of Oman reflects the competence of the Omani cadres in performing this type of operation. The team explained that when corneal transplant operations were restarted 3 months ago, 25 complete corneals were transplanted. The National Organ Transplant Program seeks to localize the corneal transplant service through the presence of an eye bank that collects and preserves corneas from donors within the Sultanate of Oman during the next 5 years to achieve self-sufficiency and to provide this service in all governorates of the Sultanate of Oman and not be limited to the Muscat governorate. During the past year, 55 investments requests were received and 45 projects were localized in Zohar Industrial City, affiliated with the public establishment for industrial estate. Madain, which will be built on areas exceeding 461,000 square meters. The Masar Service Center in Zohar Industrial City is an investments outlet with an unified system to facilitate and simplify the procedures for the investor to obtain all the necessary approvals, permits and licenses for investments projects in one station and on a specific period of time. This came as an effort to form Madain as a system of integrated services that the investor needs to create and found added value for an attractive business environment for investments in the Sultanate of Oman. The profits of Omani banks listed on the Muscat Stock Exchange rose last year to more than 453 million Omani rials, recording a growth of 18.6%. During the past year, the banking sector benefited from many local economic indicators, the rise in economic growth, foreign trade, and the volume of investments, which contributed to the recovery of many economic sectors. The preliminary financial results showed an increase in the profits of all 7 banks listed on the stock exchange. Bank Muscat recorded the highest profit at 212.4 million Omani rials, and Zohar International Bank came in second place with more than 70 million Omani rials. More than 40 million Omani Rials is the value of the work assigned by Nama Water Services Company to small and medium enterprises during the past year. The company confirmed that it is working to support small and medium enterprises through a number of programs that it adopts, most notably the Local Added Value Program, which aims to promote and create job opportunities and develop skills by awarding tenders and purchase orders and allocating a percentage of the work to small and medium enterprises. The company explained that it will raise the bidding ceiling from 50,000 Omani Rials to 500,000 Omani Rials during this year. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and to end this news bulletin, here are the main points once again. Israeli aggression continues in Gaza as the World Health Organization warns that the last functioning hospital in Gaza is on the brink of collapse. And a specialized medical team in another hospital succeeded in performing the first anterior partial corneal transplant for a patient. And with that, of course, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. We apologize for being a bit late due to some technical difficulty. Thank you for joining us, and good night.